What's up, everybody? It's Roger and Victoria here, and we're going to be discussing some new movies that were announced by Fox, including 4 new Avatar sequels and 3 new Marvel movies that are going to be coming out in 2018. So let's start off with the Marvel ones. So these are the cool ones. So we've got 3 new movies. We have got, coming first off on April the 13th, we have got the New Mutants. This will be followed by Deadpool 2 on June the 1st, and finally on November the 2nd, 2018, we have got the Dark Phoenix. Now, the Dark Phoenix is going to be carrying off pretty much where Apocalypse left off, with Jean Grey and all the X-Men running around, obviously continuing on with that story of like this dark version of her. We saw her briefly in Last Stand, a massive comic book, massive big story. And that was the one out of the 3 was like, okay, this is cool, I like the idea of what they're doing. I like the November date, I like the fact that they've gone way away from all the superhero movies of the summer. However, New Mutants now feels a little bit like, do we need it?
No, I'm going to say no, because it's a lot of saturation of X-Men, I'm not even going to lie. I would appreciate it if they kind of ventured out more. Like I can understand Dark Things because we haven't really touched on Jean Grey since Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And Deadpool was just Deadpool. That was a huge success for Fox.
Yeah, I do almost put the Deadpool 2 movie. It's an entirely different thing, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. Carry on. I love the first one. We're gonna have Cable in there. We're gonna have some different mutants. We're gonna probably have some time travel in there, so you can have a bit of fun with the different people in it and cameos and stuff. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Wolverine popped up in that one. But it's this kind of thing of I do feel like with the New Mutants, this doesn't, we've got the new series coming out. We've also got Legion, which has just come in. We've got another series. I feel sort of Fox doing 3 movies in 1 year just feels way too much.
Honestly, that sounds very ambitious to me, that they're doing 3. I've only seen, Disney do that.
I mean, the only thing is... Yeah, I mean, they kind of pulled back a little bit, I think, on this year, because obviously last year we had Deadpool 2 and X-Men Apocalypse. And they've obviously been just trying to do the Fantastic Four. That isn't working. But
at all.
No. Obviously Gambit got pushed back. I can't think if we've even got one this year. I mean, that might be...
not that I know of, no. Because Wonder Woman's DC.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think they have anything, actually.
No, I mean, we've got... No, it doesn't look like we have any more. Different dates keep going around, but there's been so many different dates and stuff with these Marvel movies. Like I said, I almost feel like... And obviously next year, 2018, we've still got Avengers, we've still got Infinity War, we've got Captain Marvel, I think even Black Panther's. There is that thing of they are bordering on doing a little bit too much, and I think Fox are definitely looking like they're going to be like, all right, let's go to the well and get as much of this as possible. The only good thing is there's no Fantastic Four movie on that list.
Oh, thank God. Or Green Lantern.
Yeah.
They just don't do well. I don't know what it is. They just do not do well.
No. I think the trouble is with Fantastic Four is they don't quite grasp the concept of it. Personally, I really hope that they've kind of given it back so that Marvel can do it properly. But, Fox are very much in the idea of making the money from the X-Men. 3 movies. Dark Phoenix, yes. Deadpool, yes, love that. But New Mutants is going to be the hard one, and I think it's going to be difficult because not only that, but we've also got so many more TV series. When we saw the trailer for Cloak and Dagger coming to Freeform, other shows, we got the New Warriors and Squirrel Girl coming as well. It's
a lot.
It's just too
really
much.
Lot.
It's getting just, to me, it's just getting to that point of. We almost just need a weekly soap opera from Marvel of just get them all in there, get them all out. I mean, I love the big Marvel series. We have comic books constantly, but I do worry that they are going to reach that saturation point, and some big ones are going to do well, and then there's going to be some that are just going to stink. And I think DC are the ones that have probably got in the worst state than Fox.
I feel like with Wonder Woman coming out, though, this is going to be the one that makes them or breaks them, because after Wonder Woman, I think they're doing
Justice League's next.
Justice League, yeah. So it's like, this is going to have to be the hit that makes people want to do
I am
it.
looking forward to Wonder Woman. That one does look good. Was never a big fan of the TV series, but it's kind of looking a little bit interesting. Justice League, I will see it. I did enjoy Batman versus Superman. It wasn't as bad, but I think nowadays there's so many good ones that the average ones are not hitting the ground. And I think there's some empathy as well of like, some of these movies are like, I'll wait till Blu-ray or I'll wait till they're just because there is just so many, and then obviously Netflix as well, all those ones. There's just so much coming out. So it's going to be a packed year for Marvel next year.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, jumping over to Avatar. So it was announced that they are doing... we knew there'd be 4 movies coming out December 18th, 2020, December 17th, 2021, December 20th, 2024. So there's a 2-year gap between 3 and 4. And then we've got December 19th, 2025. So looks like Christmas is going to be very blue for the first half of the 2020s. I'm kind of like I'm really like torn on this because I'm actually looking at them going, are you going up against more? It's like surely there's going to be some Star Wars movies. Maybe that's why we haven't got 2022 and 23 in there because there's a Star Wars one chucked in there.
That's a possibility.
Because I think Disney have definitely worked out that Star Wars does very well in the Christmas period. They can move things around here and there, but it's very hard based on the one movie we've seen. And there's a lot of people sort of sitting there going, well, can you get the second one right before you start worrying about the fifth one?
I mean, I don't get why here's the thing with Pandora. They've just waited so long. Like, they waited way after the hype to do this, and that's really concerning. Like, I get they're trying to market off Pandora and, Animal Kingdom, but they waited way too long after the hype to even try this.
Yeah,
I don't even remember when the first movie came out.
It was, I think, 2009. So by the time this one comes out, it's going to be 11 years after the original. It feels...
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I could have understood... It's that kind of thing. If we'd had one 2018, 2020, 2022, 2-year gap, it kind of reminds me of what they did with Lord of the Rings, where they kind of filmed them all back to back and then released them, which worked great for the Lord of the Rings, didn't work so well for the Hobbit. That didn't work. Didn't have that same, and then the second and the third one just didn't have that and they'd already committed, they'd already filmed it, and this is this kind of thing of if 2 or 3 aren't good enough. I mean, look what happened to Insurgent, that trilogy. They filmed 4 of them. That last one ended up, I think, it's gonna be chucked on television because it just lost the interest. I mean, obviously we got Fantastic Beasts. They're doing 5 movies. We've got the first one of them. These big major franchises, if they've got the story right and they're going into it knowing it, it probably can work. I'm holding out hope. I enjoyed the first movie.
I actually rewatched it this weekend just because it happened to be on TV, and it really is a good story. Like, I understand why it did so well. My concern is, however, if, like you said, if you don't get 2 and 3 right, then it's gonna suffer.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like the problem with Avatar with the first one was it had that blast of 3D. And it was the 3D effect boosted the numbers because it artificially inflated it because it was like the first proper 3D movie. Now, I know James Cameron has done some amazing work. I mean, some of my favourite movies he's, you've got things like Terminator 2 in there. You've got the Terminator, Titanic. He is known for doing massive movies. And when he commits, he commits. I mean, this is basically probably going to take up a massive chunk of his life. And he's been working on it a while. But, yeah, I think people also are worried when they see these franchises. So they're like, whoa, you're kind of throwing these... When Marvel turn around and go, we've got all these movies planned, now they're in the 20th movie, everyone's like, yeah, okay, fine, you've got a big story. But Avatar, everyone's going like, well, the first one was okay, and it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's going to be... I feel like they're hoping that Pandora is going to bring back interest, but the thing is, they announced that shortly after, during the hype when the movie first came out. And that was an issue right there because they gave too early of dates. They projected dates that just weren't doable. We were supposed to get Pandora back in, 2013, 2014?
The only good thing is, I think from Disney's point of view, is obviously have the new Pandora area at Animal Kingdom, is it pretty much means that they're going to get a full blast of this movie. they're going to get 6-7 years of content of new movies coming out and tie-ins. So they've done, they probably worked out very well with this. They actually going to get their, it's like now, if they'd opened in a year or two's time, it still would have felt like it was all right. But they announced a AAA game earlier this year as well. So Avatar's set to be a big thing in the 20s. But we're probably not going to hear a lot, just little snippets for them. I mean, it's still 3-4 years from the movie being released yet.
I mean, I'm going to be optimistic about it. We're going to see how it turns out.
Yes. It's going to be interesting. And I think that's going to be the thing. I think we're going to see a lot for a while. 2020 is a long way out. And even he agrees. On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Where can they find you, Victoria?
They can follow me at Twitter, and he calls me PP, and Instagram, he calls me Pineapple Princess.
And on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. We shall see you guys soon. Laters.
Bye.